everyone. This is a presentation on prevention of plastic pollution made by the Foundation for Campaign Against Plastic Pollution. Yes, prevention of plastic pollution is possible if we all of us as individuals take certain simple steps discussed in this presentation. There are three objectives of this presentation. First, to understand how plastic pollution is threatening human health, biodiversity, life in oceans, soil, and other ecosystems. Second, to learn how to reduce our personal use of plastics, including single-use plastics, also known as disposable plastics. And third, to motivate you to become our ambassadors so that in turn you may inspire your family, friends, school, college, and community to prevent plastic pollution. This presentation is organized in 5 parts. First part is about understanding plastics. In the second part, we will learn what is plastic pollution, what are its causes and consequences. And third, what are the most adverse effects of plastic pollution? Fourth part, we will learn what is the magnitude of plastic pollution. And finally, what are the ways to prevent plastic pollution? Part 1, what are plastics? Here are some facts that we should know about plastics. The first, plastics are organic polymers. Polymers are long molecular chains created by linking repeated building blocks called monomers. And the important elements in plastic are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and sometimes we find nitrogen, chlorine, and sulfur also available in the plastic. Second, plastic is not a naturally available material, but it is produced by humans from what is known as fossil fuels, that is mineral oil, coal, and natural gas, and mainly petrochemicals. These plastics are called synthetic plastics, and these are not biodegradable. And third, some toxic chemicals are added while manufacturing plastics. Fourth, there are some plastics which are not synthetic plastics but are produced from renewable sources such as cornstarch, cassava, or sugarcane. These are known as bioplastics. In this presentation, we will be confining ourselves only to the synthetic plastics. That means the plastics which are made from petrochemicals. And some examples of common plastics are polyethylene or polythene, polypropylene, polyethylene terephthalate, PET, from which drinking water bottles are prepared, polyvinyl chloride, and polystyrene. Next, we should know what are single-use plastics. Essentially, plastic items that are discarded after single use are called single-use plastics. They are also known as disposable plastics. And some of the examples of the single-use plastics are plastic drinking bottles, caps, food wrappers, packaging material, grocery and vegetables carry bags, disposable cutlery, straw and stirrers, etc. Then we should know that plastic bags, plastic bottles, and containers made of expanded polystyrene, or also known as styrofoam or thermocol, are the most common polluters, but there are many other examples of that. Part 2. What is plastic pollution? What is plastic pollution? Our production and consumption of single-use plastics has far exceeded our ability to manage the plastic waste generated by it. As a result, there is a huge mismatch between the production and consumption on one hand and the ability to manage it sustainably on the other hand. So what happens? A huge quantity of plastic waste gets littered in the environment. And the plastic waste littered in environment, including those dumped in landfills, unregulated dumps, ponds, lakes, rivers and oceans, and on soil, are viewed as plastic pollution. Plastics do not biodegrade. Over time, they break down into small particles known as microplastics and nanoplastics. And these microplastics or nanoplastics have been found in air that we breathe, water that we drink, and food that we eat. Then another aspect is the toxic chemicals which are added while manufacturing plastics. We will learn the consequences of it in the later slides. In some places, plastic waste is burned as fuel or for cooking food, which leads to release of toxic gases very harmful for the human health. This is how the littered plastic or the plastic pollution looks like in our metropolitan cities. The first picture here shows how our oceans look like as a result of huge amount of plastic waste dumped into the oceans. Second picture at the bottom shows in what unhygienic conditions our waste pickers have to work. And the third picture exemplifies the mounds and mounds of plastic waste that is generated. In part 3, let us learn what are the adverse effects of plastic pollution. What are the problems with plastic pollution? Number one, it affects human health very badly. We will learn about it a little more later. Second, huge amount of plastic pollution is found in our oceans. It is estimated that about 14 million tons of plastic leaks into oceans every year, affecting our biodiversity very, very seriously. Thirdly, since the plastics are non-biodegradable, it takes thousands of years to decompose. Very harmful chemicals are leaked into the soil from the plastic waste that is found on the surface of the earth. It affects the soil fertility very badly. Fourthly, as we know, greenhouse gases are emitted throughout the life cycle of the plastic, starting from the production of virgin plastic to the end of life disposal of a plastic product. It causes rise in global temperature, which is known to be causing serious climate change worldwide. Fifthly, plastic pollution is also found to have exacerbating disasters such as floods, because 1/3 of plastic packaging is found to be ending up clogging our city streets. And finally, it is a huge drain on the economies worldwide because a lot of tourist spots are spoiled because of plastic pollution and millions of dollars of rupees are required to clear it. There are 6 major problems associated with plastic pollution. First is on human health. We will learn about it in greater detail later. Second, ocean pollution. About 14 million tons of plastic gets leaked into oceans every year, affecting biodiversity very, very seriously. And thirdly, soil pollution. Plastics are not biodegradable. It takes years to decompose. The plastic waste that gets littered on the surface of the earth takes years to decompose. In the meantime, it leaks harmful chemicals into the soil and the underground water, contaminating both soil and water. Fourth, climate change. during the entire life cycle of plastic, starting from the production of virgin plastic to the production of plastic products and finally its end of life disposal, greenhouse gases are emitted, which gives rise to rise in global temperature, which is responsible for climate change. Fifth, it aggravates disasters such as floods. It is estimated that 1/3 of plastic packaging ends up clogging our city streets. We have seen many examples of our metropolitan cities getting flash floods during heavy rains because of choking of the drainage system caused by the plastic litter. And then finally, it is a huge drain on the economies worldwide because a lot of plastic litter is found in the tourist places which has to be cleaned up and huge amount of money is required to clean it up. The hazards of human health of plastic pollution. This is the most serious effect of plastic pollution. First, it has been found that toxins which are present in styrofoam containers, they can leach into food and drinks, causing serious damage to our nervous systems, lungs, and reproductive organs. Second, in some places, plastic waste is burned as fuel for cooking food, which exposes people to toxic emissions of harmful gases, very harmful from the health point of view. Third, the discarded plastic bags accumulate water, providing breeding grounds for mosquitoes and pests, which is also responsible for spreading diseases like malaria. And fourth, plastic bags can block waterways and aggravate natural disasters by clogging sewers, as told earlier, which may also spread several diseases. Let us see what styrofoam does. You may have seen items like what are shown in the picture in the slide. These are used as food containers or plastic glasses. Styrofoam is a trade name for expanded polystyrene, sometimes also known as thermocol. And it has gained popularity because it is very light in weight and because it is 95% air. It offers good insulation that keeps the products cold or hot. The reason that it insulates heat, it helps in keeping the food warm in these containers. But that is where the catch is. Because the food is hot, the toxins, or which is one of the toxins is styrene, which is used while manufacturing the styrofoam, and it is a possible human carcinogen, means it is capable of causing cancer. Any substance that is capable of causing cancer is called carcinogen. So it contains styrene, which is a carcinogen, and since it can leak into the food because the food is warm and hot, it can result in diseases like cancer like leukemia or lymphoma cancer. This is another substance which is very harmful, known as bisphenol A or BPA in short. BPA is an industrial chemical which is used to make containers that store food and beverages such as water bottles. And the research has shown that BPA can seep into food or beverages from containers made with BPA. And what are the effects of this? The possible health effects of BPA are on the brain, behavior, and prostate glands of fetus, infants, and children, and increased blood pressure. So you can see there are so many health hazards of plastic containers being used for containing food or water or beverages. Our oceans are in turmoil as a result of huge plastic pollution. It is estimated that over 100,000 marine animals die every year after ingesting plastic waste. These poor animals mistake plastic as food and eat it. And since we know this plastic contains toxic chemicals which can leach into their tissues, as a result, they die. It is further estimated that over 1 million seabirds die every year after ingesting plastic waste. And uncountable fishes die eating plastics. It is estimated that by 2050, there will be more plastic than fishes in the ocean. Look at the agony in these pictures. First picture shows how a turtle gets trapped in a plastic net irresponsibly disposed of in the ocean by fishermen. And the second picture shows how a sea turtle can mistake a plastic bag for food and is trying to consume it. This picture shows how a whale was found to have died on the shores of Maya Beach in southern Thailand after it had eaten or swallowed no less than 80 plastic bags, and 8 kilos of plastic were discovered in the creature's comfort in stomach. Certain areas of the oceans have huge amount of plastic waste gathered in one place, and these are known as plastic soup. This is one example of plastic soup in oceans. So what was the purpose of telling you all of this? It was to tell you why plastic pollution should bother us. Basically, it should bother us for 6 reasons. Number one, and most important, it affects human health. Number two, it is harming our marine friends, creatures living in oceans. Third, it is seriously polluting our oil as well as underground water. Fourth, it is cranking up climate change. Fifth, it aggravates disasters such as floods in cities and elsewhere. And sixth, it costs us big amount of money affecting economies worldwide. Let us see in this part what is the magnitude of plastic pollution. Plastic bags are known to be one of the biggest polluters. It is estimated that about 5 trillion plastic bags are consumed worldwide every year, and 5 trillion is about 10 million plastic bags per minute. So if we tie all these bags together in one row, these plastic bags could be wrapped around the world 7 times every hour. So that is the magnitude of the consumption of plastic bags. Second, as we have learned earlier, extensive use of plastic has found its ways into oceans, turning them into plastic soup and thus choking marine life. And the size of plastic soup in Pacific Ocean is 15 million square kilometers, which is almost the size of Russia. And Russia, as you know, is the biggest country on this planet. It is estimated that only about 9% of plastic generated is recycled, 12% of is incinerated, and 79% is either present in use in some form or the other, or dumped in landfill sites, or washed into water bodies. It is estimated that at current rate, by 2050, there will be 12 billion tons of plastic litter in landfills and environment. And a 2017 study has found that 83% of tap water samples taken around the world have contained plastic pollutants. To re-emphasize, our oceans are the worst affected by plastic pollution. As per one estimate, about 14 million tons of plastic waste is entering into the oceans every year. Drinking bottles are another example of one of the biggest pollutants. About 1 million drinking water bottles are bought every minute, which means about 20,000 per second, of which less than 50% are collected for recycling. Then as per one estimate, 480 billions of beverage bottles were sold in 2016, 110 billions of which were made by Coca-Cola, and less than 7% are turned into new bottles. In India, about 10 million tons of plastic waste is generated every year, which amounts to about 26,000 tons per day. And per capita waste generated is about 11 kg. Only about 75 to 80% of the municipal waste gets collected, and out of this only 20 to 28% is processed. The remaining is disposed of indiscriminately at dump yards. There is a huge gap between waste generation and recycling capacity in our country at present. In the last part, which is part 5, let us learn how to prevent plastic pollution. The strategy to prevent plastic pollution essentially revolves around 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. Means reducing consumption of our plastic, which includes complete refusal of certain plastic items, mainly the single-use plastics. Then confining the use of plastics to only reusable plastic items. And thirdly, to recycle the plastic waste that is generated. Broadly, in this presentation, we are suggesting twofold action. Number one is stop using single-use plastics. And number two, to be an active participant in the recycling ecosystem. Many of you would have known that with effect from 1st July 2022, Government of India has banned certain identified single-use plastic commodities. This is the list of plastic commodities which have been banned with effect from 1st July 2022. About these items, we will learn more in the later slides. First item banned is a carry bag made of plastic. The picture on the left-hand side is a picture of a typical polythene bag that we see in the market. Please do not use or accept these plastic carry bags. Please carry your own bag of the type shown in the picture on the right-hand side, a bag which is made of clothes. Plastic carry bags are known to be one of the largest pollutants among the plastic waste. The picture on the left-hand side shows the picture of a non-woven polypropylene bag. Many people mistake this as a cloth bag. It is not a cloth bag. Please look at it carefully. It is a non-woven polypropylene bag, a kind of plastic which is very difficult to decompose when littered in environment, and it is very harmful. So please do not accept these non-woven polypropylene bag. Instead of that, it is always best to carry a cloth or a jute bag along with you whenever you go out for shopping. This is the list of some other items which have been banned. Please do not use these commodities which have a plastic stick attached to it. And which are these? Earbuds, balloons, candy, ice cream. If you find that any of these items have a plastic stick attached with it, please do not accept them. Please accept only if they are attached with a wooden or any other eco-friendly material. On the occasions of Independence Day and Republic Day, it will be a great disservice if you use a flag which is made of plastic, because plastic flags are discarded, which is not a good thing. Please always use a flag which is made of cloth, cotton cloth, like the one which is shown in the picture on the right hand side. Please do not accept or buy any flag which is made of plastic or polyester. If they say that it is a polyester cloth, polyester is a plastic. So do not use any flag which is made of polyester. Use a flag which is made of a khadi or cotton cloth. Thermocol for decoration is another banned item among the single-use plastics banned with effect from 1st July 2022. So please never use thermocol for decoration. Using thermocol for decoration is banned. So please never use thermocol for decoration. Plastic cups are also banned. The examples of plastic cups are shown on the pictures on the left hand side. So please do not use plastic cups. Use normal ceramic cups as shown in the pictures on the right hand side. Plastic plates are also banned. The examples of plastic plates are shown in the pictures on the left hand side. Instead of these, please use normal ceramic plates as shown in the pictures on the right hand side. Another banned item is plastic cutlery. So the kind of plastic cutlery shown in the picture on the left hand side is banned. Please use instead of that steel or wooden cutlery as shown in the pictures on the right hand side. Another part of ban order is wrapping or packing films around sweet boxes, invitation cards and cigarette packets. You would have seen that sometimes the shopkeeper gives you sweet boxes wrapped in a plastic or packing film made of plastic. Invitation cards are found to be wrapped in plastic sheet, transparent plastic sheet. Cigarette packets are also packed in plastic transparent sheet, but these are banned. So please do not buy or accept sweet boxes, invitation cards, and cigarette packets if they are wrapped by a plastic packing film. Then last of the banned items are plastic or PVC banners which are less than 100 microns in thickness, straws and stirrers made of plastic. Though plastic bottles for carrying water is not banned, but as informed to you earlier, you would be taking a lot of risk if you drink water from a plastic bottle, because it may contain microplastics and nanoplastics. It may harm your health. So it is always, and besides that, plastic bottles are one of the worst polluters as told to you earlier. So we suggest that you carry your own metallic bottle for carrying water for your use. The second aspect of preventing plastic pollution is to enable recycling of plastic waste. So be a part of recycling ecosystem. It is not one person's job. Individuals, waste pickers, recyclers, manufacturers, producers and brand owners are all part of the ecosystem. Your responsibility as individual is to segregate plastic waste from all other waste and hand over the same to a plastic recycler or a waste picker in a neatly segregated manner. And finally, never litter plastic waste. Finally, if you are inspired by this presentation, be our ambassador and spread the message learned in this presentation to your family, relatives, friends, school, college, and neighborhood. And also spread the message around through your social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, etc. Visit our website and join us. Our website is https://capp.org.in. Thank you.